remember everything you.
Hi guys, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Today I thought let's whip the spinner wheel back up and spin for our book of the video. We are going to be focusing on our 25 to read in 2025 because I'm so close there, guys. It is currently September 1st, so I'm pre-filming this intro quite far in advance. If you've been keeping up to date on my videos, you will know that I took July and August off, and with doing that I kind of pre-filmed my September videos in August, and I'm trying to keep that momentum up because December there might be a fun little reading or video challenge that I'm going to try and complete, but we shall see. So I'm trying to keep ahead so that when that time comes and I want to kind of cram in pre-filming a load of videos, I can do that and I have the space and time to. So this week we are only going to be reading one book, so this video might be a little bit shorter than the rest, but it just means that I actually need to get some b-roll for one, and for two, get more thoughts and feelings in my check-in. Now on the wheel we have, like I said, we've only got 5 books left of my 25 to read in 25. We've got Regretting You by Colleen Hoover. This one was put on there to continue my Colleen Hoover journey and kind of backlist. I've got this one and Layla on my Kindle at the moment. I'm probably going to read them and then kind of give it a rest in terms of reading her backlist, but we shall see. I might read Regretting You and Layla and get really back into her books and her works, and so if that's the case then I might carry on reading her backlist. We have both I Heart London and I Heart Christmas, continuing on the I Heart series. Obviously if we spin for I Heart Christmas we will spin again, because that is actually, I need to read I Heart London first, so although it's on the wheel we won't read that one if that one comes up. And also it is September, so I mean I'm now classing the fact that it's the 1st of September meaning that I can read Christmas or watch Christmas films, but I feel like reading a Christmas book out in public might be a little bit extreme, so we might try and leave that one till later on in the year. Then we've also got Hooked by Emily McIntyre, which I'm kind of hoping that I get that one this month because I really want to start this series, and I'm just so intrigued by the whole dark romance elements and side of things. And then we've also got Magnolia Parks book 1. I don't know whether the video saw the light of day. I think it did. My Greece vlog, I started Magnolia Parks and I was adamant that that month I was going to read all of the Magnolia Parks series, and I was so going to be on it and I was going to fall in love with the book. And I read about 11% and I was just like, you know what, I can't read this. Now I don't know whether that's a holiday thing. I've done that recently with Empowered by E.G. Barman. I started reading it on holiday. I didn't like soft DNF'd it. I was just like, I can't read this right now. And then actually going back to it, I loved it. I gave it 4 stars. So Magnolia Parks could be the same. I've also heard it's one of those books where you just need to start it and you will actually enjoy it once you get into it. So it's not a never, it's just I don't want to this month. I've got quite a busy month with reading and also trying to finish on my dissertation and everything like that. Next month is looking freer. My dissertation needs to be done by the end of this month. Once that's done, that's a massive weight off my shoulders. So next month is looking better. So I'm hoping I might have a bit more time to maybe dedicate to some of the books I'm avoiding a little bit more. But anyway, it's up to the spinner wheel. So let's spin the wheel together and we shall see. I'm going to hold the laptop up to the camera so you guys can see. Are we ready? In 3, 2, 1. Oh my gosh, you guys are going to see it first because I'm not going to know. What is it? It's red. I think, what was the red one? Was that Hook? Oh, I Heart London. Oh my gosh, guys. Oh, Regretting You was also in red. I Heart London, where is it? Do you know what? I'm not mad. I did kind of was hoping for either Hook or Regretting You because I've got Regretting You on audiobook and Hooked as part of my TBR for this month. But I'm loving these books and they're quite easy reads for me. So I'm really excited to get into this book. I'm really excited to see what Angela gets up to. I'm kind of guessing I know why we're in London, but it'll be interesting to see if I'm right. And so yeah, I'm going to add it to the top of my TBR cart because I'm kind of making a little like TBR of books that I need to read for videos and stuff. So that was one's added. Thank you guys so much for watching this little clip, and I will get back to you once I've started reading it. Just quickly wanted to hop on and say that I have started I Heart London. I am only literally a chapter in, which is 16 pages, so hardly anything. I did start I Heart London today and it's not taking on the plot point which I thought it would. So at the end of the last book, Angela is in a spot of bother with some legal reasons, and I thought that would be the reason why she had to go back to London, to her hometown. However, the book has started very different and not how I assumed. So I'm very intrigued to see kind of why she ends up in in London, how she ends up back there, and just to see how her relationship is going with her partner. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. What I will say to start this story off is obviously this is book 4 in the series, so if this is a series you're thinking about picking up, maybe don't watch this video until you get to it. I will obviously review this book as spoiler free as possible. However, with it being the 4th book in the series, there might be some slip ups with character names and things like that that might spoil elements of previous stories, especially book 1. Books 2, 3 and 4 are similar but different, as in she is with the same partner, and so from that point you kind of know that books 1 is where she finds that ground. So if you've not read book 1, maybe don't watch this video, and if you don't want any at all spoilers, then again, maybe don't watch this video and maybe come back to it once you get to those points. But like I said, I will try and keep this as spoiler free as possible. However, with it being the 4th book in a series, it's hard. But I'm so excited to get into this book. As you guys are watching this, I don't know whether this one comes out before or after the video that I've just filmed, but I've just filmed Freedom Mixing Up with Mayhem, and without giving too much away, I need this book to palette cleanse and to just reset my brain back in, because I feel like I've read a lot of different genres recently and there's been a lot of thinking power, and I know the characters, I know the world, and with it being set in London, I know that city so well because I've been there so many times that I'm very excited to get back with Angela and in a world and with characters that I'm familiar with. So I'm gonna go and enjoy it, and I'll check in with you guys soon. Okay guys, I'm getting my steps in, so please excuse the movement in this vlog, but I have read and started the I Heart book, and I'm on chapter 10, page 135, about your 25% mark, maybe slightly more. I at first wasn't sure how I'm feeling about it. I started the book and it started in a different way than I thought, and then I've realised why they were going home. And reading this book, so obviously I don't know whether I've mentioned this before, but I've read this series before. I think I've read some of them, and this book is coming back to me. Like, I know what happens in this book pretty much. I don't remember the details, but I'm loving it. It's such a comfort series for me, and I think that's why I'm enjoying it so much. I think going back with characters and worlds and like kind of knowing the familiarity of knowing what's going to happen is really interesting, because especially like I'm going through, as I've said, I don't want to keep harping on, but it's a bit stressful with life, and also the books that I've been reading at the moment have just been very different and I've not been feeling as like gripped by them. That going into something like comforting and something that is like nostalgic is really fun to read and try and get you back to reading. So I will say I'm really enjoying it. I was struggling to get into it, like I said. This one's book's got really long chapters and I was trying to read it on my Kindle, and I think seeing down the bottom how long I've got left on this chapter was really like putting pressure on me, going, oh, this chapter's really long and I won't read this. Whereas when I'm reading the book, it doesn't say that. And so I've really enjoyed reading this one physically, which there's not many books where I'll say, oh no, actually the physical copy is better, but I do find with these books I prefer it. And also the text in the physical copy is stunning, like it's quite large fonts, so it doesn't feel like you're reading a lot. So I have really enjoyed that. So I am going to continue on with this tomorrow. I kind of would like to finish it tomorrow, but I just don't think that's feasible with everything I've got going on. But I will keep you guys updated and let you know how we're getting on. So far I'm really enjoying it. I do think this is going to be probably a 4 or 5 star read, just because it's so nostalgic and it's got that like vibe for me. I don't necessarily think it would be this highly rated for everyone else, but I just love the series. I find the series is so comforting. It gives me kind of Confessions of a Shopaholic, Devil Wears Prada type vibes. It's more a woman trying to make it in New York, and obviously with my aspiration of living in New York, it hits very close to home, and it kind of is like a slice of life of what I dream my life to be like. So yeah, really enjoying it. We'll check in again soon when I've got a bit more of an update. Like I say, I can't tell you much about the plot of the book, but just know vibes are impeccable and I'm loving life. I'm sorry I don't have the book with me, but I need to do an update for I Heart London. I am now over 50% of the way through. I gave a check-in yesterday. Told you I was like 25% of the way through. I wasn't. I was 35% of the way through. I did my 60 pages of reading today whilst watching the Newcastle game, and I got to over 50% of the way. Things are ramping up in the video in terms of in the book. In terms of the main plot line for this book is planning an event. That's all I'm going to say. It's planning an event, and this event is ramping up in terms of the plans and stuff like that. And Angela's off obviously gone home. She's back in her hometown, back in England. She's seeing her mum, her dad, her best friend for the first time in 2 years. But that also comes with the caveat of the ex that she was running from in book 1. And so obviously we've had bump-ins with the ex, and there's a potential kind of meetup of them as well happening, as well as seeing her boyfriend and her best friend from America in the UK as well for various reasons, and how they're interacting with other people, because her best friend is chaotic and her boyfriend just obviously wants to meet the family, and for that to all go really well. I am still loving it. This is the book, I've realised, this is the book that I remember the series about. This is the book that made me think about this series and was like, oh, I remember this plot line, and that's why I want to read the series again. It was from this book. So as you can imagine, I'm absolutely loving it. I'm feeling really nostalgic, and I am so intrigued to kind of see the nuances of the story, because like I say, I remember the storyline, I don't remember the nuances, and I don't believe I read any more of the series. I feel like this is where I finished the series when I previously read it, so I think the next 3 books are going to be new to me. I'm still reading this one physically. I've not picked it up on my Kindle since, and I might do kind of in bed tonight, maybe pick it up on my Kindle just so I don't have to sit with the lights on. But I think other than that, it will be read physically, because I am enjoying that experience so much more. So I would highly recommend this series as just a very cozy comfort series. If you want a very unrealistic kind of slice of life, go for this series. It feels so drama-esque, and yeah, loving it. So I will check in with you guys when I've got a little bit more of an update, probably end of day tomorrow. I really would like to finish it tomorrow, but it is currently 10 to 10, and this was not the plan to be going to bed this late, because if I would have gone to bed slightly earlier, I could have done a lot more reading tonight, but I have work tomorrow and I need to be up in the morning. So I will check in with you guys once I've read a bit more. Like I say, I'm hoping to finish it tomorrow, but with everything going on at the moment and things that I need to get done, like filming and stuff, I don't think that's going to be the case, but we shall see. I finished the book. Boom. I finished I Heart London yesterday. Yeah, yesterday morning. I woke up slightly late and had about 70 pages left. I think it was literally exactly 70 pages, and I woke up slightly late and was just like, I have to finish this today. I have to finish this today, and I have started kind of trying to get my 60 pages for the 75 medium done in the morning, because where I've not been feeling very well, I've been resting a lot more, so I've been getting my reading done in the morning, so then I go for a walk in the evening, because I've been like bypassing my workouts for this week. And so I thought 70 pages, I'll try and get it done in the morning. I woke up late and I literally was sat there like this, reading this as quick as I could. It's also available on Kindle Unlimited, and so I had it on my Kindle and I was walking around reading my Kindle whilst I was getting ready for work in the morning. I went downstairs for my breakfast and my mum and dad spoke to me and they were like, morning Lauren, and I was like, yeah, just reading my Kindle as I'm going. I literally needed to finish this because I was so obsessed. I needed to know what happened. Now, I said earlier in this video that I read this book and I read this series because of this book, because of something that happens in this book, and it brought me back to it, and I then wanted to read it again. And I was reading this book and I was like, oh, this is the book that it happens in, I can see it happening, all that. It didn't happen. It did, but it didn't. So I'm wondering whether, because this is very similar to Confessions of a Shopaholic, I think, so I'm wondering whether I read that in those books and I have read these books but forgotten what's happened. Either way, absolutely loved this book. The characters in there are so flawed, but like perfectly flawed, and it was so wholesome to see them. So I ended up rating this one 4 stars. It is kind of a high 4 stars. It's teetering on a 5 stars, but I just think it's not anything outstanding to warrant a 5-star feeling and a 5-star review. However, 4 stars is still really, really high. I would highly recommend to anyone that wants a comfort series that you can just like lose yourself in, because the I Heart series is that comfort series for me, and I can imagine it would be for quite a few people. So I would, like I say, highly recommend this book. And yeah, thank you guys so much for following along with me whilst reading our book today. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Comment down below what book you're reading at the moment, or if there's any books you guys want to see me get to soon. And thank you guys so much for watching. I'll speak to you next time. Bye.